G'day everybody and welcome back to Starcub Review. I'm your host as always, Starcub, and today's video is going to be an easy one, and that is a book review, one that I have been waiting to review for quite a long time, and I finally finished it last night with the audiobook accompanying it, and I have thoughts about it. But it is really, this is an awesome book. I can't explain just how extensive and insightful this book really is. But before I get into that, I just want to say a big, huge thank you to everyone new to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning into my videos, giving me a like, commenting. It's been great. Everyone that's returning and still watching my videos, thanks so much, guys. I appreciate every single one of you. All the newcomers as well, I really appreciate it. This is what keeps me going and keeps me entertained as well, because I love doing what I love doing, and that is giving videos to everybody. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the book I'm referring to is written by George R.R. Martin, and it's a book set centuries before Game of Thrones, and that is Fire and Blood. And this is all about, this is the first part in George R.R. Martin's two-part extensive look at the history of the Targaryens. And I have a lot to say about this, although I don't want to make it a very long video, but all I can say is that, wow, I really thoroughly enjoyed it. It's very long, over 700 pages. Took me a long time to read. I know, I apologize, but I did it with the audiobook, and even then it took me a long time. Because I had so many things come up and I had to keep putting it off. But I finally got it finished, and it's a very extensive look at the history of the Targaryens, the dragons, the Dance of the Dragons, all of that's in, you know, the House of the Dragon. Although it only covers a small portion of House of the Dragon, only covers really a very small portion of this. I would love to see it expand more and more, but I can't wait to see what he does with the second half of the history of the Targaryens, because we go through all the different Targaryens, Valyrians, we see other characters like the Starks, but this is all the Starks, previous Starks, you know, intertwining history and whatnot. We get all of that. I am not a huge fan of Game of Thrones. I've never read the books. I've watched the entire series, and the last season was absolutely ridiculous. It was absolutely stupid in my books. Actually, the last... It went downhill after season 4, I think. Completely and utterly useless, and the storylines went nowhere, and I think a lot of things could have been done better, but this book, wow, does George R.R. Martin really extensively give you a look at the in-depth history of virtually everything, I guess, that you would think of if you're a huge fan of Game of Thrones. I'm not a huge fan of Game of Thrones, like I said. I love House of the Dragon. House of the Dragon is absolutely amazing. So I was like, I had to, and I you know, I haven't even seen the first season of House of the Dragon, so I do apologize there, but I know all about it. But I had to read this first to get a better idea and a better, you know, handle on their history, what things they've put into the House of Dragon and what stuff they've left out. I know I've had varying opinions on everything. I've had season 2 is not as good as season 1, but his book is Fire and Blood is absolutely amazing. You get to see other characters like Daemon, Rhaenyra, Daenerys, you know, all the dragons as well. So there's a big, huge history there, and George R. Martin knows his shit when it comes to medieval fantasy. You know, lots of really, really extensive themes of really heavy material, but there are heavy subjects in there, and I will put a warning in now for anyone that is a little bit trigger sensitive. There is a lot of themes of incest, rape, abuse, lots of violence, obviously, very full on with the violence, but it's very, very full on with themes of abuse, it's incest, there's lots of that, same-sex relationships, there's all that in there as well. It kind of goes with all the themes, but a big part of the other one, like I said, is there's big themes of rape in it as well. So if anyone is a bit squeamish with all of that, I wouldn't recommend it, the book, but I could recommend maybe skipping those parts where it mentions all of that, and go to, you know, and read the other stuff that isn't, you know, about incest and rape and all of that. But it's a very, very, you know, all that stuff, medieval stuff, it all plays into the story. It's not just there to make it grotesque or whatnot. So it is part of the story. It is part of the history of Game of Thrones as well. As you know, there's lots of those themes thrust in there. Even House of the Dragon has the same bloody thing. You know, Rhaenyra marries a bloody uncle, Daemon Targaryen. So, you know, there's all, it plays into it. You get to see that history. The Dance of the Dragons especially is absolutely amazing. All the stuff on Dance of the Dragons is amazing. The history there. And I can't really wait to see that displayed on screen. Although I hope they really don't fuck it up, to be honest. But George R. R. Martin's Fire and Blood is incredible. It even has at the back of it, it has a big family tree linking all of them together, how they're all linked, how the families are linked, how the Tyrells and all of that, all the previous Tyrells and Starks and all those other ones, all have links to the Targaryens in some way, and the wider history of Westeros in general, Valyria, you know, and there's a lot about the Doom of Valyria as well, which is really, really awesome to see, to read about. So it was great. It was good. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Very, very long. I'm betting part 2 of the history of the Targaryens is gonna be just as extensive and big as this one, but I really can't wait. Highly recommend this book to anybody. I apologize once again for getting this review out late, but it took me a long time to read this one because I had lots of stuff come up, plus I really wanted to take my time with this one, and the audiobook helped me get into this world of George R. R. Martin's, and it really, it's a fascinating read. What do I give this book? I'll give it a solid 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Solid book. Go get it, people, and read it, because it's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. That's this video down, and I'll have more for you later on today. Alright, guys. Ciao.